There we see the other two Zergs in the group going head-to-head now as we go back. See some infested Terrans popping out. That looks like that is certainly going to be a good game. Can't wait to see the results of that one.
What a tease. I can't believe the cameraman did that. That's so awesome. Again, if you're in the venue, please tune in to the second stream at redbullusa.com/LAN. Or if you're at home, why aren't you watching both? Looks like game number 2 is starting off with this second match here on the A stream between GanZi and Illusion. In the bottom right corner, we do have the man who had the game virtually won, but wasn't able to close out the deal. It is Quantic Illusion.
And in the northwest position, taking game number 1, wanting to be the Terran to come out on top from Team Complexity. Give it up for GanZi.
You know, I'm really interested how GanZi is going to be readjusting his play for this map. If you've watched a lot of GanZi's games, he's gone through kind of an odd evolution where about a year ago, he was doing the same mech style, game in, game out, the Slayer's Blue Flame Hellion style. And in recent times, he's become someone who does a different strategy every game with a lot of variety. And here, look, we're already starting to see a big deviation. GanZi with a little bit more of an economic build. Barracks first, focus on defense, get that orbital up early, and Illusion, again, with another aggressive refinery first.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not too surprised to see Illusion go for this, even though you'd think that maybe it's time to be a bit more reserved. Maybe it's time to be, you know, a bit more solid and go for a macro style opening. I'm not sure, but there's just something about Illusion that I thought, you know, is he going to throw down that refinery first and follow up with something similar to what he did in the last game? It looks like that will be the case, but I wonder if he's going to go, you know, full blown in this. Maybe we'll see the full Cloak Banshee here, and off of a quick expand from GanZi, this could be like an interesting clash early on.
Now notice this is the GSL version, no gold minerals in the mid. You can only spawn cross-map. Illusion now checking up into the main base, and you'll note, look at this scouting path. He wants to get to the geysers as quickly as possible. He sees no geyser 1, just started geyser 2. GanZi almost certainly going expand, delayed factory Hellion.
Then we have the Marine moving out, take out that scouting SCV, but nice move there by Illusion to go ahead and get that one going. And I feel like GanZi knows exactly what's going on, or at least can prepare for it, or know what options to at least keep an eye out for. We had the factory go down. He did, of course, see that just as it was dropped, so he knows exactly what Illusion is up to. We still haven't seen the CC come down quite yet for GanZi, and he's going to move his racks over because, you know, he just didn't quite like where it was.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to have this nice cuddly positioning here, which is not actually arbitrary. You can do cute things where you build a depot here, and if there's some sort of Blue Flame Hellion drop, when they try to move up, you can actually run this way, and it's hard for the Hellions to swing in at the appropriate angle. With these nice, subtle wall-offs, you can start to really control against the drops well. And the question for GanZi is he going to go for a tech lab and try to get tanks faster? Is he going to go for the reactor and get more Hellions up? Because right now, Illusion doing the same build as he did before, but I guarantee you, it's a more aggressive variant.
You know, we'll find out. It doesn't look like he is going to go Cloak without that second gas, so he'll just be throwing out the Banshee right away and then see where he's going to go from there. But that second CC is nearing completion for GanZi. Of course, down here at the Natural, it's going to be already done for Illusion. And there you go. Look at this kind of an interesting fast fact coming up there on the screen, Sean, is that GanZi actually joined Complexity in March with the intent of playing in more international tournaments. And quite frankly, he's done just that. We've seen him all over the place at tournaments around the globe.
And it's always really impressive to see a player of GanZi's caliber able to perform well outside Korea, because, I mean, despite the fact that everyone loves to tote how the Koreans practice more, you can never underestimate the fatigue that travel and jet lag can have on really incredible players, what incredible detriment it can be. So really impressed to see GanZi just stepping up his game in that fashion.
Look at this Illusion following up with 2 more racks, making a few more switches, getting the reactor up on his starport, made just the 1 Banshee, immediately put a racks down so he could get the stim going, and that 1 Banshee is making its way over. There are 3 Marines here, now 5 thanks to that reactor. He kills 1 without taking any damage, and Actually, he knows that he's got to get those bio out of the way. This Banshee will undoubtedly do some damage. The question is how much? Ooh, he gets another Marine.
And GanZi also having a Hellion at the front, so both of them doing a nice little light harass to one another. But GanZi's preoccupied in the main. Illusion doing an amazing job picking things off one at a time, totally giving the freedom to Illusion, and there GanZi realizes he could have been doing a lot more damage, pulls back to start doing the SCV harass.
Yeah, the one Marine does come out, and he's going to go ahead and get the surround. I like that as well. Might as well get the job done. I'm not even sure that he got maybe a SCV, is only one worker killed on both sides.
Wow.
So he's pretty happy. Those SCVs are going to celebrate. They killed the Hellion, and the Banshee comes back to get a full repair. But I do believe that Illusion got the better end of that trade early on. Several Marines picked off. I felt like he could have done a little bit more, but why not, you know, don't bite off more than you can chew. Get that guy back. Keep using him. The retention of units is one of those things that we are seeing set apart even the best of the best from the better of the best, where, you know, the unit control and choosing to bring your units back, repair them, especially if you're Terran, can win you games if you keep those units alive.
I mean, it is true that I actually think that always the more important thing is not how much damage did I do, but how little damage did I take. And it looks like Illusion really showing that right here. If he can deflect this, and likewise GanZi might try to go in for some big kill, but if he overcommits and loses everything, that is what spells disaster.
Well, he is not going to overcommit quite yet. Oh, up on the top. He's going to just try to use some vision there with that Viking, but he's got quite a few of these hurt Hellions, and of course, you know, once they are gone out of the battle, so he will choose to move back. He needs to get some repair on those, but no SCVs moving forward. Another Banshee coming out as well, and we are seeing, is this going to be, no, GanZi actually moving over. He's going to probably now transition pretty much to bio tank at this point.
Yeah, you know, I want to talk a little bit about that because we see that the Hellion Viking numbers are so big, but still we see GanZi transitioning into a bio-tank mixture. This all relates back to the tank. Obviously, tanks deal a lot of damage, but on cross-map positions like this, you need to have some way to get them in a good spot. And right now, it looks like GanZi was trying to control that front, but no, Illusion springs into action, takes it out with ease, and now is starting to get a more stranglehold of the center. So right now, in all honesty, GanZi's just trying to get space with those Hellions and space with those Vikings. So that way, when his tank count starts to get a little bit higher, he can really begin stepping into action in the middle of the map. And we see another little drop play by GanZi, was able to distract just a slight bit. GanZi does not want to be contained by Illusion at any point. That would be game-endingly bad.
Yeah, GanZi is going to come back over here, do a few more kills here on the SCVs. He's actually up to 9 now. There's the stim, try to get rid of that guy, but he has kept him alive. Now, Illusion has taken the middle, and I love this. Love it, love it, love it. He's going outside the range of the Xel'Naga Tower. It's something that we see Complexity Heart do quite a bit as well, and he is going to be in for a big surprise. But look at this, that one Viking is there to alert him. It's not going to be a huge amount of time to deal with it. And actually, look at that, he even sneaks past the Viking.
Oh, jeez, that was incredible adroit maneuvering by Illusion. Hot SAT word, but still he's doing a big drop in the back of the main base. Instantly pulls out when he sees that there's a threat.
Big threat.
And again, it's that brilliance. I'm not trying to deal a lot of damage with a big drop. I'm just trying to make sure I don't take too much while still being aggressive.
And he just goes ahead, drops down, and I mean, all he did was a little bit of damage to that supply depot, but he will go ahead and be content with just having map control in the center. Although he did eliminate GanZi from his front door early on, he still wasn't able to take that middle control, and now he has got it, especially after making sure GanZi's whole army was back at his base by sort of faking that drop a little bit. And that Banshee in the back is still doing some damage. He has been such an annoying little guy, up to 9 kills here, but oh, are these Marines finally going to get him?
GanZi is just has such incredible focus. I mean, there's not a lot of micro sitting and shooting a supply depot, and as a result, so easy to look elsewhere, have your focus distracted by other things going on in the main, but GanZi on point with some incredible APM, no doubt. Yep, both players averaging over 200 in this game.
Which is not surprising to see, and it will undoubtedly go higher as the battles ensue. And so it looks like we're going to have some Marines spread out here by Illusion. Try to get some map control, do some patrolling. We had this Marine over here as well at the third. Saw was killed. Saw that the third is eventually going to be going down, but it's not quite completed yet. So the third going to be up much quicker for Illusion, and that is going to be a big advantage for him.
And it's interesting because both players are going for very clear, simple advantages. Illusion is going for more space and more bases at the cost of building a lot of tanks. GanZi is literally doing the opposite, sacrificing space, sacrificing bases to get up more tanks earlier. 5 tanks to 2. Is siege mode even done for Illusion? It is indeed, but still, a lot of tanks almost always beats a little tanks.
Yeah, you know, the other thing is the upgrades are definitely in favor of Illusion. GanZi at just 0-1 with 1-1 on the way. But 1-2 is going to be finishing up here very soon. He does have his tank siege up. No
and there's
siege
the big
in the back.
siege, and it looks like great tank blast there by Illusion. And oh my God, GanZi, what is going on? Illusion absolutely obliterated in that battle, destroying a large number of Marines without really taking too much of a hit at all.
Yeah,
and now going to get one by
all.
2 Vikings go down. That is the drop defense for GanZi.
And that is now said and gone. Now we do. Oh, the Marines spotted the double medevac that was loaded up, and that will be nice. And the upgrade certainly came into play there. And +2 is going to be done here for Illusion in the next battle. But having those tanks and keeping out of the range of the siege was quite good. And with control of the center, Illusion spreading his army out. He even has this 1 tank on the low ground. I like that one as well. Just kind of increasing the radius in which it will be able to hit. And a group of Marines over here on the west side is taken out quite easily by GanZi. And even with the upgrade disadvantage, getting those small groups of units is certainly going to be big here in this matchup.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's the real key that both players are going for. It's sure picking off small numbers of units, but also scanning to try to count small numbers of units. If you can see, GanZi doing exactly what he needs to do, seeing a few units here, a few units there, and just slowly chewing his way in, all reinforced by these tanks, and an attempted counter swing by Illusion falls very short. GanZi is essentially committing a ton with this one attack, and Illusion looks like he wants to step into the fray, but his tank count needs to pick up. He needs to get his tanks into good position, and GanZi may have just broken the front.
Oh, he broke the front indeed. There are a few takes in the back, but he's got enough bio to push forward. And this is that scary moment. You've got that extra base. He's got this Marine back here going, where is GanZi's third base? And he just frankly doesn't have the units to deal with this.
Oh, and this is GanZi's trademark. Big direct pushes at the front with the perfect control. The drop in the main base, but the money pair of Vikings from Illusion will be able to start slowly picking off these medevacs, but Illusion getting caught a little bit off guard. The tanks are sieging up, dealing massive damage in the main.
Yeah, and the main is going to get hit here quite a bit. There's a tank here for Illusion to try to help with the defense, but so many tanks down below. We do see Illusion dropping some Marines on top of those tanks. Does get 2 of them as a result, but again, these units kind of trickling out. He's going to send up a few more Marines, and although, what is the army looking like at this point? It's actually much lower. 80 supply for GanZi, 58 for Illusion, as GanZi continues to move closer and closer to his opponents.
Oh, the greater tank count allows GanZi to get into worse positions with the tank and then just siege up first and still come out way on top. All that Illusion can really hope to do is do these huge drops and try to pick off tanks with splash fire, but still Illusion is running low on time. More drops from GanZi come in from all angles.
Yeah, he drops at the third. He does kill several SCVs, not enough to force a tap out at any point, but enough that he can kind of move up, and you know, the damage has kind of been done. He lost quite a bit there. He did lose that starport. He's got a second one up, getting medevacs out of it, but the third base is now getting established for GanZi, and most importantly, he retained a lot of those units. And battling that mid, he didn't just throw away everything to gain control, and now look at this spread. He's even got a defensive force and a secondary force that he can roam around and try to hit his opponent with.
And you know, the real concern in Illusion's position is this macro, where we saw all the barracks maxed out with units, and a lot of the factories having queued up units as well, and this just completely backfired with this early third base. Illusion hasn't been able to get a building lead, which is the one way that he can exploit his economy. Now going for this counter drop, starting to try to do some damage. He will be able to pick up and run away if he reacts quickly enough. But no, GanZi's going to sweep in and pick that off too. Illusion's running low on options.
He really is, and quite frankly, GanZi is shutting down every opportunity that is presenting itself to Illusion. The drop at the third was thwarted. The drop inside the main was seen by the Sensor Tower and easily taken out. And here we do have Illusion moving forward, thinking this group is out of position, but the tanks there, ton of damage already laid down on top of them, and the mules drop down by GanZi. He says this is going to be over and done with, but you know what? It's not quite yet.
Minute. Oh, a misfire Manor Mule. Looks like we have two mules that could have been scans, could have been extra money, and right now Illusion breaking down the front door. An amazingly nice positioning there by Illusion. Re-seizing control of mid.
This is not over quite yet. We do have a big Bioforce moving forward. He's got to keep those tanks sieged up. That actually will be key in this battle, but suddenly GanZi, who had the higher tank count throughout this, who was stopping the drops left and right, is now finding himself with the lesser army. In fact, it is now 56 to 90, almost completely flipped. And was that the magic engagement that Quantic Illusion needed to find himself bouncing back into this game?
Well, Illusion was a lot like a loaded spring. He was getting more and more and more tight and just sprung right back. All that economy, all those barracks, stockpiling in the main can produce those Marines. 13 at once, a mere 7 coming out of GanZi's base. So slowly Illusion's gaining more and more ground and is now expanding into mid.
Oh, wow, he's gonna go ahead and take that position. And when you've got the middle, that's a great place to expand to. You lose that middle, you likely will lose that base. Now a bunch of units from the back. In fact, it looks like Illusion's gonna attack from both sides.
And the counter mule at the front. You mule me, I will mule you. And now Illusion stepping into the fray. Tanks trying to pick off the rim. Illusion will be able to keep himself alive. A good game.
GG.
The youngest player at this tournament, Quantic Illusion, successfully thwarting what looked like an inevitable 2-0.
Not bad. Not bad. I thought for certain with the tank count, with the Marine Marauder count that he had in the middle, that there was undoubtedly going to be a very difficult task for Illusion to try to regain control there in the mid. We saw the Manor Mules threw down, and he already had the 4 tanks sieged up there. But that was so smart by Illusion, right? He knew that his drop just got thwarted over at the third. So, hey, I know that there's 4 tanks and a ton of Marines that you're not going to have in this battle. He killed those initial tanks and then just took control of the middle.
I mean, that is always the sign of a good aggressive player. When you do those medevac drops, it's not just, I hope I kill off stuff with this drop. It's actually, well, I could kill stuff off, or at the very least, I'll get his army in a bad position. That's what immediately allowed him to take control. And in GanZi's defense, I'm sure he maybe threw down those mules to maybe pick the tanks off, but Illusion's mule, I think, was clearly not.
Yeah.
I think it was very much so a Manor Mule. I think it was like, hey, look, I don't need this 50 energy. You take it.
Which means that Illusion definitely must have interpreted those mules that came down as Manor Mules, indeed. Whether or not they were trying to detract the tanks a little bit and throw some damage behind them, that didn't really work out. And we are going to be going on to
Entombed Valley. I mean, and if we actually take a look at the map Entombed Valley, despite the fact that it does have those close spawning positions, it is one of the maps that I think a lot of people tend to recoil from. Ooh, I don't want to get the close. Maybe if it's diagonal, that's okay. But Entombed Valley actually has surprisingly even matchup statistics. The GSL version of it, look at that, 48, 48, 42, 42, and it's only in PVT where Terrans, despite all their complaining as of late, have 4 more wins. Boom. Prove that there's balance in the game. Anyways, let's move on to the TVT. I mean, Entombed Valley is going to all be about, is it going to be horizontal positions, vertical positions, or cross map?
And we will, of course, find that out right away. These players tied 1 game apiece now. The winner, of course, crowning himself the champion of TVT in Group A. And ultimately, the loser, well, it could set up some interesting scenarios for the remainder of the games in Group A.
Whoever wins this match will be 1-1 in their group and will need 1 more win to advance on to the next round. Whoever loses almost certainly eliminated from the Red Bull Battlegrounds. Let's find out what happens going into this game number 3 right now.